Most digital download shops make exactly $0. They're digital ghost towns, gathering virtual dust while the owners wonder what went wrong. Well, today I'm telling you why you're likely headed for that same graveyard and the specific, slightly boring traits of the few who actually win. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Truly, it's not in my nature to ruin a perfectly good evening with cold, hard reality. But there is a polite fiction in the side hustle world, a fairy tale whispered by gurus in rented Ferraris, that if you build it, they will come. In the digital product space, that is a recipe for a very quiet bank account and a lot of wasted evenings when you're already exhausted from your day job. According to current data, roughly 7 in 10 e-commerce ventures fail within the first 12 months. And in the make money online niche, that number is likely higher because the barrier to entry is so low that practically everyone and their cat is trying to sell a PDF planner. We're living in an era of side hustle fatigue, where the marketplace is flooded with mediocre products made by people who spent more time on their logo than on their market research. They're chasing passive income without realizing that you have to be active before you can even dream of being passive. You can't just throw digital spaghetti at the wall and expect it to turn into a mortgage payment. Why the 70% failure rate? It isn't because people aren't working hard. I know you're working hard. I can see the bags under your eyes from here, and I know you're trying to fit this in between the school run, the 9 to 5 grind, or that 8 p.m. moment when your brain politely decides to shut down for the night. It's because effort is often confused with effectiveness. You can spend 20 hours designing a manifestation journal in Canva, meticulously choosing the perfect shade of sage green and a font that looks like it belongs in a boutique hotel, but if the world doesn't want another manifestation journal, you haven't built a business. You've just found a very expensive and time-consuming way to have a hobby. Hard work is only a virtue if it's applied to the right problem. Otherwise, you're just digging a hole in the middle of a forest and wondering why nobody is paying you for the view. The first reason most shops fail is what I call the kitchen sink strategy. You see a tutorial on selling wedding invites, so you make 3. Then you see a video about ChatGPT prompts, so you throw those in for good measure. By Friday, you've added some digital stickers for teachers because you heard that was a hot niche from someone on social media. To a customer, your shop looks like a digital jumble sale on a rainy morning. It lacks authority. It lacks a soul, and most importantly, it lacks trust. Trust is the only currency that matters online. People don't buy digital products, they buy solutions to specific, annoying problems that are ruining their day. If I am a small business owner looking for a specific spreadsheet to track my inventory so I don't go mad during tax season, I don't want to buy it from a shop that also sells cute cat clip art. I want to buy it from a person who clearly lives and breathes inventory management. You cannot be a jack of all trades when the algorithm is looking for a master of one. If you niche down until it feels too small and slightly boring, you're probably just getting started. A narrow niche is a sharp knife, it cuts through the noise. A general shop is a blunt spoon. This leads us to the aesthetic over utility fallacy. This is where my design-heavy friends get hurt the most. You've made something beautiful, the fonts are elegant, the colours are perfectly on brand, and it looks stunning on a high-resolution mock-up. But does it actually do anything? The market is saturated with pretty things. Pretty is now the baseline. It's no longer a selling point. What we have is a massive shortage of things that save people time or make them money. The shops that win are the ones that identify a specific pain point that makes someone's life measurably worse. Instead of a budget planner, which is vague and frankly a bit depressing to look at, a winner makes an audit-proof expense tracker for freelance consultants. It's not as aesthetic, it won't win any design awards, but it is vital. It solves a problem that keeps someone awake at night in a cold sweat. When you're busy and tired, you don't buy pretty, you buy helpful. If your product doesn't solve a problem, you aren't selling a product, you're selling a decoration. And people stop buying decorations the moment the economy gets a bit bulshy. Now, let's assume you do have a product that solves a problem. The next way people fail is by making the buying process an absolute nightmare. I've seen people try to sell digital goods through clunky Instagram DMs, link in bio schemes that lead to broken pages, or websites that look like they were built in the dial-up era. If you want to actually look like a professional, you need a streamlined storefront that doesn't require a degree in computer science to navigate. Personally, I recommend to you Gumroad. It's the most weatherproof platform I've found. It handles the sales tax, it handles the delivery, and it handles the payments without you having to touch a single line of code. It's simple, it's clean, and most importantly, it works while you're asleep or doing the washing up. I've put my affiliate link for Gumroad in the description below. If you use it, it helps support the channel at no extra cost to you, and it keeps me from having to sell my kidneys to pay for this lighting. But more importantly, it gives you a professional home for your products from day one. Stop that mucking about on social media and start being a business. You want the distance between I want this and I have this to be as short as possible for your customer. Now let's talk about the search engine struggle. Many creators think that because they put a product on Etsy or their own site, the world will magically find it. Traffic is not a right, it is earned through data and precision. Most failed shops use titles like Digital Planner Blue. Nobody is searching for Digital Planner Blue, they're searching for how to organize my work week when I have ADHD, or small business bookkeeping for beginners. The winners don't write titles for themselves, they write titles for the search bar. They spend as much time on their metadata, those boring tags, keywords and descriptions, as they do on the product itself. You have to understand that the algorithm is a librarian, not a fan. Its job is to find the most relevant book for the reader. If you haven't put a clear title on your book, the librarian will just leave it on the floor. If you're feeling disheartened because you have 0 impressions, ask yourself, have I given the computer any reason to show this to a human? If your title is 3 words long and contains no long-tail keywords, the answer is a resounding no. So, who actually wins? Is it the best designer? No. Is it the person with a massive following? Not necessarily. The people who take off in this niche have 3 specific, gritty traits. First, they are data-driven, not ego-driven. If a product fails to sell after a month, they don't get depressed or take it as a personal insult to their creative soul. They look at the click-through rate. If nobody clicked, they change the thumbnail. If people clicked but didn't buy, they change the price or the description. They treat their shop like a laboratory, not an art gallery. They test, they tweak, and they move on. They don't fall in love with their ideas, they fall in love with what works. Second, they are relentlessly consistent. This is the slightly boring part that the gurus skip because it doesn't sell courses. They don't upload 12 products and quit because they aren't multimillionaires yet. They commit to the 50 product rule. They know that the first 20 products are essentially just practice. They are the bad sketches you have to get out of your system before you find your style. It's usually around the 21st or 30th product where you finally strike a vein of interest from the market. That's the one that pays the mortgage. Most people quit at product 19 just as the algorithm was starting to pay attention. Don't be most people. The middle of the journey is where the magic is usually hidden, but it's also where it's the most tedious. Third, they value high signal feedback. They don't ask their mum if the product is good. Their mum loves them. She'll say it's lovely because she wants you to be happy and perhaps stop talking about digital spreadsheets at dinner. The market doesn't care about your happiness. The winners look at the average view duration of their promotional videos or the bounce rate of their shop pages. They listen to the market even when the market is being a bit rude by ignoring them. They iterate, they pivot. They don't get married to an idea that isn't paying the bills. They are willing to kill their darlings if the data says they're dead. If you've made 12 videos or uploaded 12 products and you're feeling like giving up, I want you to remember this. You are currently in the filtering phase. The algorithm and the marketplace are trying to see if you're a flash in the pan or a stayer. Most of your competition will quit at video 15 or product 15 because they've run out of steam. If you make it to number 50, you aren't just a creator, you're a survivor. And in the side hustle niche, survival is 90% of the battle. It is hard, it is frustrating, and it is, at times, incredibly dull. But it is also one of the only ways to build a life where you own your own time and don't have to ask a boss for permission to go to the dentist or to see your kids' school play. Finally, Don't fall for the saturation myth. People have been saying the digital download market is saturated since the dawn of time. It isn't. The market for rubbish digital downloads is definitely saturated. The world is full of half-baked trackers and generic journals that look like they were made in 5 minutes. But there is always room for high-quality, high-utility products that actually help people solve a problem. If you can provide that, and do it with a bit of consistency, you are already ahead of 99% of the people who watch those get-rich-quick videos. You are playing a different game. You're building an asset, not just chasing a trend. You're building a reputation that is the only thing that doesn't depreciate. Now, if this all felt a bit doom and gloom, don't panic. Despite everything I just said, digital downloads are still the best side hustle for now because of the zero overhead and the infinite scalability. You just need to know the actual non-hype reasons they work when they do. I've broken that down in another video, Digital Downloads Still Work, Here's Exactly Why. Click that right here, go grab a fresh cup of tea, and let's look at the good news for a change. I'll see you over there.